Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a few pages for my October daily album instead of Project Life. So with this particular page, it's all about my work and how my work is so festively decorated, and there is always treats in there and it's just the best. But I forgot to hit record. So I just left it running once I realized, so that way I could show you the page and explain that I had a 4x8 photo and some different shapes, and I brought in some pieces from Ali Edwards' digital story kit work and just changed the colors to match more of my Halloween colors, then added in some Simple Stories stickers, and I think it turned out fantastic, and I'm very excited to have work stories in my album this year. So I just had to share that one as part of this video, even though I couldn't show you the process, but I wanted to still be able to explain it to you. So this next one that involves work is one of my coworkers, her and her husband 3D printed earrings, and it was all set up in the break room, and it was really just amazing. There's some amazing designs, and I wound up getting 3, I believe. I got a keychain that was a skeleton for my daughter, and then I got some ghost holding books, and then some haunted houses. They're really cool earrings. So I had to do a page about it, and I decided to pull the skeleton tag off of the Simple Stories and use that. But I wasn't sure how I was going to mat it, and then I realized I could use some vellum, and I also wanted to use like the polka dot pink paper and do some floating pieces on that as well. I just had to trim the skeleton piece down just a little bit so that way I could fit it on there. And then one of the patterns that I wanted was on the 4x6 horizontal card, so I just punched out 2 1-inch circles so that way I could have a variety of circles on this particular card. And then that die cut with the spider web, that came from an Ali Edward kit, I believe one of the latest kits, but it came from there, and I wanted to use it on this orange piece of paper. And then, of course, I have my earrings all set up. I didn't take a picture of me wearing them, so I do want to do that and maybe include that in the album later on. But I set them up on my desk and then just grabbed a photo of them because I love them. They are so cool. And then my coworker made the skeleton like miniature size, earring size, and so she gave me those, and I was so excited because you guys know how much I love my life-size skeleton Stella. So now I have earrings that match, and yes, I forgot to get photos of those too, so I'm gonna remember to get photos of all of those. So on that pink orange polka dot, I added a shape that said love these coworkers. That's again from an Ali Edwards story kit, and then I added in some different shapes, and then to pull in a little bit more of the green from the skeleton circle on the tag, I decided to add in some hearts, and then I also found a sticker that said best witches. So I figured, you know what, that works perfect for coworkers. So I went ahead and used that to talk about the story of my coworker and her husband making these earrings. It was, like I said, I think I said it. It was all set up in the staff room, and there was so many different choices. It was really hard to make a decision on which ones I wanted to get, but I got some great ones for the festive season. Okay, so this next story just kind of I stumbled into this next story, and that's what I love about doing these pages is sometimes that's how it goes. You stumble onto a story that you can use in your project. So as I was scrolling Instagram, I saw this one particular page. I can't remember what it is, but I will link it in the description box. But she set up this whole thing that said choose your October personality, and like what would you be if you were a ghost? And I chose library ghost and decided to go ahead and print it out and just make a page about that. And I didn't really have a design like beforehand. And you know, for me, if you've watched some of my videos, you know that's kind of hard for me because I'd rather plan it all digitally. This one I did not. So I knew that I was going to use some stamps, and I knew that I was going to try to use some more of my Simple Stories kit, especially any book pieces. So that's it. That's all I knew. And I grabbed a ghost paper and I put that down at the bottom to kind of go with the ghost theme. And then I also cut out that piece that you saw me cut out a little bit ago with the books, the frog and the skull. I think that came from a tag on one of the Simple Stories papers. So I fussy cut that out to be kind of like a foundational piece. And then I remembered I have this pattern paper that's like the orange flowers, and I am obsessed with it. I love it. So I decided to go ahead and add some of that up in the top left-hand corner. And then I wanted to add some more at the bottom, and I painstakingly, I don't know what was going on, but I was having a hard time cutting out this particular piece like the way that I wanted it. So when I went to set it down like by the books, I didn't like it there. So then I tried a few other places, and then I just decided to grab a different piece that was more long and less tall, if that makes sense, and put that down by the book, and that worked a lot better. So I have a big chunky piece up at the top and then kind of a skinnier piece down at the bottom, and I think that works much better overall. And then I can adhere down my photo and add in those stamps. And I think most of those stamps are Syncopation Designs stamps, and I am going to color them in to give them a little bit more color. I didn't want to just leave them black. And I am going to add a title. And the stamp that I use that I absolutely love is This Is How I Roll, because it's like an old library cart and it works so good for the theme of this project. I grabbed a skull sticker and a candle for up in the top left corner because it matches the piece that I fussy cut out, and I love that. I love how the piece that I fussy cut has the skull facing left, and the sticker up at the top has the skull facing to the right. So that's really cool. So I grabbed some letters that from Carrie Bradford that say ghost, and then I was like, well, I always journal so nicely with my fancy pens. Let me write out the rest of the title. So I did. If I was, and I forgot the A, and I did not like it. It did not turn out good at all. So I am gonna cover it up and just write it in with pen, because I just didn't like it. I did not like it. And I really don't have any tiny alpha stickers because I don't like alpha stickers. And I don't have any tiny, really tiny alpha stamps. So what I did is I just covered it up and then re-stamped the G and the H so that way you could see them, since the top of those had gotten covered up. And this time I wrote the A. So if I was a ghost. And I love that much better. It works so much better. Then I grabbed a bazillion different Tombos so I could color in and try to match the colors that I was using in this project. And I colored my books in several different colors, lots of earthy colors and more of the Halloween fall-ish colors. And then I also stamped Let's Get Lit and then Happy Haunting. I did more of like a highlighting of that one, and then used orange on the other section of that stamped piece. And that is about it. So 3 stories, 2 of them having to do with work, and then this fun one having to do with something I found on Instagram. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing all of these pages come together. It's been so fun to put together pages and kind of keep things simpler this year. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.